It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Sunday morning, time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio show. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's Automotive Radio Show. Test Miles, locally created, nationally celebrated. I'm your host, and we're joined by Sean Walker, Brad Boyer, and Zhenya, the intern. Obviously, we cannot avoid the lead story in the local news this morning. Volkswagen. This is bad news for the company. It's really going to hurt them, and I don't see any way out for them. Basically, they were caught cheating on the test.
Is this the New England Patriots philosophy? If you're not cheating, you're not trying?
Well, I think so. Unfortunately, tomorrow I'm heading to New York to see the unveiling of the new VW Passat, which happens tomorrow night. I'm very much looking forward to the car, not very much looking forward to the politics, which is going to go around that. This is a huge blow to a car company who's been struggling to get Americans to like their vehicles, and I expect to see a lot of staff changes at the top.
And the ones we like are the TDIs, the diesels.
They are the
48 miles to the gallon and fun to drive.
And now we know why, because they were basically cheating on their emissions test.
And $18 billion. That's with a B.
Again, that's estimated.
Is the estimated cost.
Yeah, estimated
for
cost.
the recalling of 500,000 vehicles. That's if anybody takes them back.
Yeah, who wants to go less miles per gallon? You know what you'll see? You'll see the Democrats take them back because they want to do better for the environment. And you'll see the Republicans keep the cars because they want to get better gas miles.
Well, I mean, that's the reason you went out and bought that car was because you wanted 50 miles to the gallon. Now you're going to do an update and give me 30?
Exactly. No. This week I have been driving the Acura RDX, which is a 5-door premium crossover. It is the smallest Acura SUV, CUV that they make. A strong fuel efficiency without a diesel. V6 gains more power this time around. Roomy cabin, list of really nice standard features in this vehicle. Only one configuration for the drivetrain. It's not as sporty as, I think, some of its rivals, but still a very solid car. 3.5 V6, 279 horsepower. You can get that super handling all-wheel drive, or you can get the two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. 29 miles a gallon without cheating on the highway. Its competitors, the Audi Q5, the Lincoln MKZ, the MKC, the BMW X3, Mercedes GLK, Cadillac's SRX, Volvo's XC60, Infinity's QX50. So a lot of competitors in that class. I do think this is an excellent vehicle. It starts at $36,105, and they are saying now that this will be, later this month, hopefully they will confirm that this will be one of the only luxury vehicles that will make both the IIHS and the NHTSA's list of top safety picks or 5-star safety picks. So good for Acura. The other car I was driving was what Brad talked about last week, was the Honda HR-V, 4-door subcompact, same sort of class, a little bit smaller than the RDX. Roomy interior, really nice interior from Honda. First time I've seen a stellar interior from them, and I think the same interior is going to be in the new Civic. It really is, the engine's a little underwhelming, but you're not looking for a sports car out of this. Touchscreen interface can be frustrating sometimes, but I think when you've learned it, it's much easier. It has a 1.8-litre, 4-cylinder, 141 horsepower. That's CVT or a manual. I've driven both. I think the manual was a lot of fun, but again, probably wouldn't drive this in traffic in a manual.
What'd you think of the CVT? I thought it was a tad intrusive for me.
You know what? CVTs now, that I believe, compared to that old Jeep Patriot when they first came out, what was that, like 2000?
10 years ago? 10
yeah, probably 2004, 2005, which is like having a hairdryer on under your seat. This is so much better. And 31 miles a gallon combined, 35 on the highway. It competes with the Renegade, the Fiat 500X, the Duke, the Subaru Outback, and the Mazda CX-3. Comes in 4 different trim levels, $19,000 starting price, which I think is a good price. Brad?
I had a chance to drive a really interesting vehicle, the Hyundai Santa Fe, which is the SUV. Comes in 2 different configurations, actually built in 2 different countries. The Sport is more the 5-seater, built in Georgia, whereas the Santa Fe is a 6 or 7-seat configuration, built in Korea. And it's a vehicle that has won my wife over and swayed her from the minivan. She loved this vehicle because we had the...
Who would believe?
I know. It's 8.5 inches longer than the Sport, and it had the 6-passenger configuration, so it had the pass-through to the back seating area, and the multiple configurations plus the anti-stain seats when you're schlepping around a couple of 6-year-olds was... It won her over. It's a really impressive vehicle. I like the sharp lines on it, which aren't quite Cadillac sharp, so it's not too much in your face, but a very aggressive look for this vehicle.
You know, Peter Schreier, who has always been the Kia designer, took over both Kia and Hyundai, so he's now over Hyundai as well. And I think since he took over Hyundai, their designs have got an awful lot better.
Much better. The interior, too, is everything you'd want. The Blue Link telematics system, it worked great for me. In the short time that you have it, you get to learn it. It's not as if, like we talked about on the other vehicles, where you spend 6 months with it, was really easy.
I think the fact that you can, Hyundai have the app now, you can run their vehicles from your watch, your smartwatch. I love that. You can start it, you can do all that stuff right from your smartwatch.
Can you drive it?
No, but that's next year, I think.
Yes.
Just kidding.
And the best feature I liked was the hands-free lift gate, where you just walk behind it and the lift gate comes up.
You don't have to wave your foot underneath it.
Yeah, I think you just stand behind it for a short amount of time with the key fob
3
there.
seconds, yeah.
Yeah. So in the 3.3-liter V6, 290 horsepower, the gas mileage is okay at 18 and 25, but it is the Santa Fe version, it's a bigger SUV. It competes with like the Pathfinder.
Do they make a diesel?
No.
I knew that. I was just being cheeky.
Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive only loses about 1 mile per gallon.
Right.
So it's way up on our to-do list. So base price for the Sport, which is the smaller one, $26,000, $31,000 for the Santa Fe, but can creep up over $41,000.
So their Sport is the base model.
It's the base model, smaller.
Whereas the American Sports are the top model.
Yes, that's right.
Of course. You know, in Asia too, they read from right to left. So perhaps that's why they just did it backwards. I've always seen the Sport as the top model. That was my perception too.
Yeah. So when I wasn't getting the Sport, my first thought was, oh man, I want a little nicer. But
it worked out okay.
It's fantastic.
Good. I would also tell you this morning that I got an email yesterday from Zhenya who said he had a car to review. I'm highly suspicious, since he's only 14 and doesn't have a driver's license, what this will entail.
Speaking of cars you should have that aren't minivans, I've been in the Ford Flex for a few weeks, and I really do enjoy this car. It's a 7-row, 5-door. I don't know what it would really compete against, because there's not really many boxy cars that have all-wheel drive and 7 rows of seating.
So how have you been in it?
I've been being driven around in it. So I have a friend who...
So this is the backseat review.
Yes, it is the backseat review.
Okay.
And it's a very comfortable car. I haven't really been in a new car that has such soft seating as that Flex. I think the ride is very good. There's so much space in the back. You can fit Nettled in the back seat, in the very back seat. It's very practical, and it gets decent gas mileage. The one with the twin-turbo V6 with 350 horsepower gets you about 27 highway, 25 combined, 23 city. I think it's a very good car. I think the looks are okay. You have to get it in specific trim. I think the best-looking car is the SEL with the 20-inch rims, blue paint, and the chrome roof rails. I think that's the best-looking car with a black interior.
The problem with the Flex has always been it's been too heavy. It's been a car that's been way too heavy, and so the gas mileage that they say, I've never been able to get that good gas mileage out of it.
They're lying. They may restate.
Oh, you're thinking it could be something close to having a problem like VW?
Oh, it could be.
Ford's gas mileage, they say EcoBoost. You can have Eco or you can have Boost, but you can't have both of them. That's kind of the internal joke.
Yeah.
And did this have an Eco engine?
Yes, it had the EcoBoost and Turbo V6.
Right, so which do you prefer, the Boost or the Eco?
I think I prefer the Boost because that has 350 horsepower.
See, they're really sporty, but as soon as you put your foot down in these vehicles, you'll find that you lose the gas mileage. That's always been the problem.
Yeah, and I think the problem Ford's been sort of having is the engines. They get good praise for some of their engines, but the cars they fit them to just don't really work as well. You have twin turbo V6 in the Flex, but the Flex is very heavy. So it just doesn't really work out.
Right. It's a conundrum. Great car, just too heavy. If they could make that car out of aluminum, maybe it would be better. All right, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about Dodge. we have the design manager from Dodge going to be on here. He's going to tell us all about what's been, what's now, what's coming, and how all the colors work on these cars. We, of course, had a long-term Durango we've been driving around. We're also going to find out about my adventures on a motorcycle, 2 wheels, got my test passed, and the person that gave me the test is going to be here to tell you all how terrible I was. And Run to the Sun's happening. John Vincent from the Portland Tribune is going to be here to tell us all about 25 cars over 2 days that they'll be driving around the Northwest. You're listening to Test Miles on FM News 101 KXL. I'm Nick Miles.
It's Test Miles on FM News 101.